The Shooter Shack. Welcome to the Shooter Shack. I shoot at like 80%. What the hell they do that at? What the hell they do that at? Welcome to the Shooter Shack. The Shooter Shack. I help you make your money back. Like where they do that at? I shoot 80%. Every Sunday with the kid. I'll make your money back. I shoot 80%. Every Sunday with the kid. Like where they do that at?
Welcome back to the Shooter Shack. It's Pat Gregoire, joined by none other than the shooter himself, and 'tis the season to be making some money, and it isn't a better time than right now to be in the Shooter Shack. 4-2 last week, 5-1 the week before, 4-2 the week before, and on the year, shooter, you're 49, 16-1. There isn't anyone better on this planet than picking NFL games than you.
Well, I couldn't have said it better myself, Patty. The #1 NFL professional handicapper in the world today. 49, 16-1, and I will be eclipsing the 50-win plateau this week. And as you can tell behind us, it is Christmas time in the shack. And when I was putting the lights up last week, I even laced the chimney with some butter and a little bit of margarine just to make sure that Jolly St. Nick can slip right down because the barrel's getting heavy. I got a call from the North Pole, and he's been taking my place, and he's been eating good. That's why we laced her with a little bit of extra butter. But hey, that being said, it is time to get rolling. So Patty, let's get into this Shooter 6.
All right, for pick number 1 of Week 15, you've got the Jacksonville Jaguars at 2-11, taking on the Houston Texans at 7-6, sitting atop of the AFC South.
Well, this is a big game, and the Texans are looking to stay on top of that embarrassing division in the AFC South. But the Texans are 8-0 straight up, and they are 7-0-1 against the spread in their last 8 games as a favorite, Patty. Houston is 4-1-1 against the spread in their last 6 games at home. And Jacksonville is a dreadful 0-11 straight up after playing consecutive home games. They've also lost 5 straight games to the Houston Texans. So, Patty, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up that bottom drawer, and I'm going to grab a pair of Grandma's cotton-laced oven mitts, and I'm going to pull that Mexican fire casserole right out of the oven, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of freshly grated cheese on the top, and I'm going to tuck that puppy right back in. I'm going to turn that knob to broil, and I'm going to throw her back in for 5 minutes, and I'm going to crack open a bottle of red, and I'm going to toast a victory, because I'm taking the Houston Texans at -5.
All right, next pick, we're staying in the AFC, but we're shipping up north. You've got the Pittsburgh Steelers sitting at 8-5, taking on the Cincinnati Bengals at 5-7-1. Shooter, let us know where we're putting our coin.
Well, Patty, we got 2 teams that are very familiar with one another and 2 teams that absolutely hate each other. And they're going to collide on Sunday on the gridiron in the ice-cold Cincinnati, Ohio. Pittsburgh, 12-1 straight up, and 11-1 against the spread in their division in the month of December. Pittsburgh is also 4-1 against the spread in their last 5. Then you got Cincinnati. They are fighting the truth this season. They're 4-9-2 against the spread in their last 15 games, and more recently, 2-3-1 straight up in their last 6. This couldn't be a bigger game for Big Ben and the Steelers. If they want to stay on top of that AFC North division, they're going to have to be firing on all pistons. So I'm going to tell you what I'm doing on Sunday. I'm heading up to Garden and Taunton, and I'm going over to Firehouse Subs. I'm getting myself a turkey bacon ranch on whole wheat with all the fixings. And I am chomping into a victory. I am buying myself a half a point, and I am taking the Steel Curtain at -2.5.
All right, pick number 3, you've got the red-hot Tampa Bay Buccaneers sitting at 8-5, taking on the Dallas Cowboys sitting at 11-2, but they just lost their 2nd game of the year last week. Shooter, I see you're wearing the Bucs jersey. Does this mean you're taking the Bucs this week?
Well, Patty, you never know when it comes to the shooter and what jersey he's wearing, if I'm going with them or if I'm going to dog him. But I'll tell you one thing's for sure, Tampa Bay playing on prime time with the playoff picture in mind. This hasn't happened in a very, very long time. And they couldn't be hotter right now. Tampa Bay is 5-0 in their last 5 games, and they are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 games on the road. Dallas on the other side of the coin, 9-3 against the spread in their last 12, and in those same 12 games, they are 11-1. Now, Tampa Bay, they are looking to keep pace with the surging Atlanta Falcons, who play against the 49ers this week with a 14-point spread. That looks like a lock. So they're going to need Jameis Winston to lead them into the trenches if they got a shot against the Cowboys. But no pun intended on this one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a few pounds of crab legs, and I'm going to dunk those suckers right into the pot, and I'm going to hire a butler just to crack them open and put them on the plate for me and the family. I don't need that gunk on my fingers and in between the fingernails, but once that meat is placed on the plate for me, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to dunk it in a nice warm melted butter, and I'm going to slurp it right back. But in the football game, you're looking at the jersey, I'm buying 1.5 points, and yes, Patty, I am going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at plus 8.5, and you can take that tea bag and drag it right across your bookie's chin.
Now, Shooter, that's a play I would definitely not mind sprinkling a little bit on the money line there.
I totally agree with you, Patty. At plus 250, the Bucs are playing some good football. But when you get the road underdog and you get the points, I've said it time and time again, you take the points. But guess what time it is, Patty? Lead us right into her.
It's the Shooter field goal. Well, we got the Philadelphia Eagles at 5-8 taking on the Baltimore Ravens at 7-6.
Well, this is the textbook battle of the birds. We got two birds here in the kitchen jostling for position, trying to get themselves something to eat. But in this game, I see the smaller bird coming out with the bigger meal and bringing it back to the nest. I'm going to buy myself a point, and I am taking the Baltimore Ravens. You see them right here at minus 4.5.
All right, don't even bother setting your PVR for this one. It's the Cleveland Browns at 0-13, winless against the Buffalo Bills, who are 6-7. Shooter.
Well, Patty, it looks like the time has come, and I am finally going to make the Bills Mafia fans happy, and I am going to jump on board with Sexy Rexy. His job is on the line. He's a player's coach, and the boys are going to come out for him on Sunday. And yes, believe it or not, I am taking the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to buy myself a point. I don't think I'm going to need it, as I see the Bills absolutely romping the Cleveland Browns. I am taking the Buffalo Bills, believe it or not, at minus 9.
All right, last but certainly not least, probably one of the more interesting games of the week. You got a couple of teams at 9-4. It's the Detroit Lions visiting the New York Football Giants.
Well, we got two football teams here that are having two great seasons. And I'm telling you right now, the Vegas odd makers don't seem to think it's going to be a high-scoring game. But these are two teams that are used to playing in the cold, and I see an air show coming at you. Eli Manning and Matty Stafford, they're going to put some numbers up on the board. So in this one, guys, I am taking the over 40.5.
Well, there you go, folks. That's your Shooter 6 for week number 15. You see the buckets on the sidelines. Consider that your early Christmas gift from Shooter Claus. You got to get those picks early before the lines change. The wise guys, they're watching, no doubt. And before we do say goodbye, Shooter, you got to thank some people.
Well, first of all, Patty, I want to thank the wise guys. I know you got your eyes on me, and don't you guys worry, because my eyes are right back on you. I see what you do with the lines after Uncle Shooter puts out his picks, but there's a couple sponsors that I want to thank. And first, I want to get to my barber, Wilkins. He is the best barber in the GTA, and when it comes to the one you want with the clippers, he's the guy. He keeps this beard looking sharp and looking fresh, and he can do the same for you. Just let him know that the Shooter sent you. I want to thank the good people at the Royal Oak Whippy North at Garden and Taunton for always being a huge supporter of the Shooter Shack. They got the best drink specials, awesome food, and just a wonderful staff. I also want to thank MyCustomSportsChair.ca for being one of the biggest sponsors of the Shooter Shack. They have an absolutely wonderful product. So log on to their website. You'll see it at the bottom of the screen on the ticker. See what they have to offer. Makes great Christmas gifts or any gift for any sports fan. So I want to thank you guys at My Custom Sports Chair as well. But hey, guess what? Christmas is coming, the picks are rolling in, and we are about to improve the record that sits at 49-16-1. There's not a better guy in the world. I am the #1 NFL professional handicapper in the world. I want to wish you and yours a happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. Patty, thanks for joining me again down here in the Shooter Shack. We're going to have another great week, and we'll see you in week 16.